Days. The 5 o'clock hour is hot on Fit FM 90 www.fitfmja.com. Your life, your music with Lady D, Denise Gomez, inside the zone. Catch me on Monday at 5 p.m. for the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And on Friday, yes, at 5 p.m. for Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. From abroad to yard, Trelawney, may love on you.
Get ready for Savor Jamaica, a one-of-a-kind food festival. Thursday, September 26th from 3 p.m. to 8 a.m. at the Artisan Village in Falmouth during Tourism Awareness Week. Join us for a day filled with mouth-watering dishes from all across Jamaica. Taste the best flavors from Negril to Kingston and everywhere in between. Hosted by the hilarious Christopher Johnny Daly. It's Savor Jamaica. Come taste the culture. September 26th at the Artisan Village by the Falmouth Cruise Pier. You don't want to miss it. Brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and its public bodies.
Ask the doctor. Is your calling health feature brought by the Medical Urgent Center 20 to 29 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney, inside the Community Buzz, Mondays at 3:30 p.m. Call in on 876-513-6668 or 876-478-9144 and have
spark make rise. Frederick Douglass rise. Ancestors rise. Eileen Thomas said, Aymara rise. Organize, mobilize, visualize. Stop looking.
Yes. Grand afternoon, because we rise from about 4 o'clock from morning. So we rise, and from we rise, we keep moving. We give thanks to be here. It's the Community Buzz on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And I am Aymara, your musical revolutionary. How you doing, world? We are here. Jamaica, the beautiful land, right in the sun, the land of wood and water. Whole heap of water flow down here, see? And whole heap of wood there, see? So we are in the land of wood and water. And some say sea, sand, and sun, and whatever, you know what I mean? But and some people call it Ironman, everything. Ironman, see? So we give thanks to be here another day, and this is what, September the 23rd. We give thanks. The time is moving fast, right? Bless up my brethren them across the world, bless up my brethren. Fireball run over there in France. Long me not see that brethren I hear from him. It was a joy to hear from him last week, Producer, musician extraordinaire, He's one of the men who play guitar on 10 feet tall. See? So we know, say, top musician. Seeing we used to be in the hotel by FDR over the years, and they just take off. Seeing most of my virgin them. But we're still there. We give thanks. Well, from last week, the week just busy. Politics in the here, or some people would say politics, and all sorts of things are going. The Integrity Commission report out, and everybody, in a frenzy about it. Who for resign from, who for stay, and all kind of things happening. But we're there. I know we have to do. We have to make sure, say, we keep the order and make sure, say, Jamaica is in, good standing with the international community. And that is something that we are looking on, as a people. How do we want the rest of the world to observe us and to see us, And this is something that we must pay attention to as a people and stop beat around the bush, because it's a serious world that we are living in. And it should be a world of what we call transparency, a world of truth, a world of justice for all. That's what we are working for as human beings. And if we are working towards being our best selves, we must seek to find the best people to be in charge of our affairs. When we say our affairs, I mean in a collective way, the country's affairs. And we must also seek to participate in that process to make sure that whatever is happening, we are paying enough attention to what is happening, that we, can be counted and stand up and put up our hand and say, we help to make this island a better place. They always say, don't say what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? But first of all, you have to do for yourself. And what I say, do for yourself, make sure that you be your best self. And if you be your best self, is the best self you're going to offer to the world. But if you be your worst self, what can you give to the world more than, your lower self? So I am saying, strive for your higher self. And when you strive for your higher self, then you know that you're going to share all that you have, which is within you, So many things happening, and we are calling on the people to wake up and shake up on yourself out of the dust, be ready for what is ahead. One of the things I want to say to the people of Jamaica, We have come too far now to turn back to the 80s. We don't want to go back there, so you understand? And we kind of smell a kind of political heat go on, and it can get sour. I mean, I said to the people who were a part of that process, right, to stop that political polarity and that political tension that took place, and massacre, murder, and this, place a lot of families, from the 1970s to the worst of worst, the 1980 election. Let us not return to that kind of a madness. We must rise up now and wise up and understand the game of politics, understand the policies and the system of the world, and who organize and set those policy and those system. I know that not for the people who you say in a way domestic political system, they are just trumpeting, right, what is happening in the international arena. You know what I mean? So I want the people them to just wise up. Well, you know that we are on www.fitfmja.com. We are also on the 96 FM band. And we are also simulcasting on primal4k.com. And that's www.primal4k.com. Yeah. And we say you can call in 876-478-9144, 876-513-6668. Anything you have up your sleeve or you have on your mind where you feel like say you can't talk about, make we talk about it. It is the community buzz, and we are buzzing. What you have buzzing in your mind that you feel like you want to let out and you want to say. It's a platform, it's a program that you can express yourself. But that is one of the things we realize a lot of our people become so docile, them just don't even want to talk, and then them ask you what you are do for them. I say, big man, what you can do for me? What you can do for yourself? At least you're supposed to can speak for yourself, man. Just say something for yourself, rather than ask people what them can do. But we realize that most of these things coming from the dumb and dumb of school and religion, yeah? A lot of people, just listen for the instruction from their instructor. See? And that is how the world runs. People just want to hear something. Nobody go into themselves. Maybe it's because them in teachers say, lean not on your own understanding. So you must understand something else rather than what you vibes up within yourself and can see and say, yo, I experienced this. So if you experience, you try to run away from, and look for somebody and try to express somebody's narrative rather than going into your own self and realize about it. This is something that I am seeing. Remember that, just like up in the sky, right? And you see millions of stars. You are one of those stars, or you're going to the forest. That's why I would say people to start going to nature, because I realize that the way people behave, or most people say behave around here, they never even go up on the sun, on the seaside, go walk and just look down upon the sun and see the billions there. I know that you're just like one of those grain of sand that you see on the sea there. See? Or just go out in the forest and sit among the trees, and you just know, say, you're just one of the tree where you sit right in the forest. Yeah, so you understand? And every tree have their own shape, their own expression, their own form. You understand? And that is the same thing with you, just like the stars in the sky. So all around us, nature is showing us who we are, and we are not disconnected from it. We are one with that life force and that life energy. So, say, we make a pledge, say, we will continue to express the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And we are going to go to 3:30. We could do this and then we'll come and tell you what is coming up later, 3:30. I repeat that God created you masters of your own destiny, masters of your own fate, and you can pay no higher tribute to your divine master than function as man, as he created you. The highest compliment we can pay to our Creator, the highest respect we can pay to our risen Lord and Savior is that our feeling that he has created us as his masterpiece, his perfect instrument of his own existence, because in us it reflected being of God. When it is said that we are created in his own image, we ourselves reflect his greatness. We ourselves reflect the part of God, the Father, the Son, and God, the Holy Ghost. Well, me say God, the Mother. And when we allow ourselves to be subjected and created others as our superior, we hurl an insult at our Creator who made us in the fullness of ourselves. I trust that you will so live today as to realize that you are masters of your own destinies, masters of your fate. If there is anything you want in this world, it is for you to strike out with confidence and faith in self and reach for it, because God has created it for your happiness, wheresoever you may find it in nature. Nature is bountiful, nature is resourceful, and nature is willing to obey the command of man. Man, the sovereign Lord, man who is supposed to hold dominion and take possession of this great world of ours. The philosophy and opinion of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, right? We are looking at these things and we are saying, we want the people to wake up and understand which part we're there as human, in this life. At 3:30, we will be in that half an hour between 3:30 and 4, Omega Urgent Care Center, Medical Urgent Care Center, Ask the Doctor, out there in Champion Plaza, right? 28 to 29, shop 28 to 29, Champion Plaza. So we will have Dr. Messon Taylor again. We will listen to that good Dr. Messon Taylor. Later on, we'll link her up, right, in Ask the Doctor on the Community Buzz. And that will be 3:30, a couple minutes from now. So gear up for that. And people, as I say, you can call. Or send in a voice note, right? You understand? Because there are so many things that you can learn right here. You can learn so many things right here. Yes. Make we go to this and feel some things that are going on at the Gleaner here. Because but Wellness could pursue judicial review of IC decision to refer report to financial crimes investigator. Wow. As the Financial Investigation Division moves statutory declarations, the Gleaner understands that his legal team plans to pursue a judicial review of the referral. Sources have indicated that the Prime Minister is taking steps to use Section 63A of the Integrity Commission Act, which states, in carrying out its duty, the Commission shall not be subject to direction or control of any other person or authority other than the court by way of judicial review. I am saying Jamaica, the Prime Minister is in the news all over the world, not here, And I'm saying to the people of Jamaica, we must pay attention. We must not just listen to the rumors, and I would encourage everyone, to, if you can, get a copy of the report, the IC report, right? And peruse it yourself carefully. Seeing it is 170 pages, and that's why it is important that we continue to read. It is important that we continue to inform ourselves, and it is important that we don't just be sensational and make it seem like, we are one-sided and other people feel like yes, you are just, against the prime minister. No, the prime minister as an individual is an individual. What we want is the integrity of the office of the prime minister. That's what we are demanding, that the office of the prime minister to us should be a sacred place, a place where justice, truth, and transparency, should operate. Because if you are the chief servant, we, the people of Jamaica, would like to make sure that everything, is up front and clear, that we can understand. Yeah, transparency is a must, and you can't vex with people if people are said to you, say, come out and let us hear and see what you are under investigation. And I say you're a criminal, you are being investigated. You are the lucky one, because some people who are under investigation, they are locked away while the investigation take place. So you are privileged that you are under investigation and yet still hold a powerful position. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has asked his attorney to file a defamation suit against person who make public statements that suggest that he misled the country about being under probe for illicit enrichment by the Integrity Commission. But the people who assess so, they are quoting from the Integrity Commission, right? Two-page media, let me say this, a two-page media release from the Prime Minister's attorney at law, Henlin Gibson. Henlin stated that Holness did not lie about the status when he told journalists that he was not aware of the government member of parliament being under probe for illicit enrichment. Jamaica, let us wise up and rise up. See, we're going to look for money in a little while, and we're going to look for how the system of money and education and those who are educated, how them function and how them operate and the reason why them operate the way them operate. Well, if Maroon Chief in the news again for whole heap of something and people are pay attention to him, you understand? And we have to look on these things, You see, there's a complex thing when it comes to Maroon, you understand? Especially when it comes to the treaty, and we have to dissect these things. But from 1738, 1739 till now, right, as a people, we are at a crossroad now, and we must look within ourselves, to see some of the mistakes that we made then and to see how we can correct them now. You know what I mean? I always talk about this thing, truth and reconciliation. Or we're going to face ourselves, because that's what we need to do. Face ourselves, and have a constructive dialogue. Now is not time for us to be, going at each other's throat. It's time for us now to look each other in each other's eyes and say, let us find a way out of the dilemma that we are in, because we are still under the rod of the oppressors. Economically, we don't control nothing, right? Because as we speak, we're still indebted to World Banks and the IMF, right? And our children are indebted. Now, people are talking about reparation, right? And at the same time, we are talking about reparation, and at the same time, you are go deeper and deeper in debt. We don't understand that. You understand? And as Dr. John Henry Clark said, see, powerful people will not teach powerless people how to become powerful. When I hear that again, powerful people will not educate powerless people how to become powerful. And then the great Frantz Fanon stated that the oppressors have to rise up and free his or herself, or free themselves. The oppressors have to rise up and free themselves, right? And in turn, free the oppressed. So understand what we are saying. If you want to become powerful, you have to work on yourself. And power no mean to dominate others, because some people see power as a tool of domination. You know, you can empower yourself to empower others. You can empower yourself, you know what I mean, to be a beacon of light to others, that others can see that light and follow. Yeah. So we're going to bounce piece of music, and when we come back, we still have to talk, because we're not shorter argument. Yeah.
3:30.
Yeah. And at 3:30, do remember, ask the doctor. We are here.
All you ever do is talk. You get up every day and just a skylark, expecting others to do for you what you should be doing for yourself. You're like an outdated stock on the shelves. Get up, stand up. Get up, get up, get up. Stand up now. Mental slavery is what we must overcome. Yeah. Walk away from the blame game. Let's show the world who we are and from whence we came. And true freedom will never be given. It must be taken. No truer words has ever been spoken. And so you better get up. Stand up. Get up, get up, get up. Stand up now.
Yes, yes, yes. Dan Minot said, get up, stand up, you know. And well, mad up and stand up. Man up.
Man up and stand up.
Man up and stand up. And that we just read that when Marcus Garvey said. We have to man up and we have to stand up. You know what I mean?
All you ever do is talk. You get up every day and just a skylark, expecting others to do for you what you should be doing for yourself. You're like an outdated stock on the shelves. Get up, stand up. Get up, get up, get up. Stand up now. Mental slavery is what we must overcome. Yeah. Walk away from the blame game. Let's show the world who we are and from whence we came. And true freedom will never be given. It must be taken. No truer words has ever been spoken. And so you better get up. Stand up. Get up, get up, get up. Stand up now. What are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? Too much self-doubt, too much procrastination. What are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? Put away the jealousy and division. And step up. Stand up. Step up, step up, step up.
Yes, yes, sweet reggae music, man. You know, when you listen to the music, yeah, you know, say reggae is still alive and well. And so much of them artists are just out there, just dormant because, you know what, they don't want the revolution. They don't want to hear these kind of vibration to reach the people and to, you know, stimulate the consciousness of the people. As we talk about revolution, is it a revolution taking place in Haiti or Haiti, I don't want to call it, but we say Haiti. See, Haiti has taken a significant step towards staging fresh presidential and legislative election with the appointment of provisional electoral council. Provisional electoral council. Haiti has been without an elected head of state since President Jovenel Moise was assassinated at his private residence overlooking the capital on July 7, 2021. Moise had assumed the presidency in February 2017 and has been elected November 2016. The country is expected to hold elections by 2026. Well, some of our brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters are there on mission, right? And, you know, they better pay attention to the brethren named Barbecue because what I'm seeing there is not a joke thing, you know, and people are calling him terrorist and gang leader, but I want the people them to go back in history. Nelson Mandela was called a gang leader and a terrorist. You know what I mean? And then he became the president of Southern Africa. We must pay attention to these things. You know what I mean? Paul Bogle was called a gang leader, right? And terrorist too, you know, troublemaker. And then now we have him as national hero. So there are so many things that we must pay attention to. You know what I mean? And it's the world that we're living in, you know, and all the other people who fought the revolution, you know, from 1792 till Haiti got its independence 1804. Those people were seen as what? Terrorists. But life is what it is. Fidel Castro was called a terrorist as well, and maybe die as one of the most wanted men by the United States of America. But he outlived about 8 president. I said, go. Life is here. Yes, we are in the half an hour of Ask the Doctor and his Omega Medical Urgent Care Center in Champion Plaza, shop 28 to 29. And we have online, what were they? Huh?
The Doctor is your interactive call-in health feature brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, 28 to 29 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney, inside the Community Buzz, Mondays at 3:30 p.m. Call in on 876-513-6668 or 874-78-9144 and have your medical-related questions answered by the specialist, Dr. Live. That's Ask the Doctor, brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, your healthcare provider of choice on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, Champion Plaza, Falmouth, provides excellent healthcare services through a qualified staff to fulfill the medical needs of its community. Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, Falmouth, focuses on quickly getting you back to your true self. We use state-of-the-art technology to diagnose and treat patients. Ultrasonography, CAT scan, digital x-rays, and laboratory services. Schedule your appointment today at Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, Champion Plaza, Falmouth. Opens Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 876-462-4571. That's 876-462-4571.
Yes. Grand afternoon again. We are here on the Community Buzz on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We are also simulcasting on primal4k.com. That is www.primal4k.com. And we are also on the World Wide Web, www.fitfmja.com. And we are also on the 96 band, and that is Fit FM 96.7. Right? How we doing? Blessings and light. Is Dr. Taylor online there? Good afternoon. How are you doing, Dr. Taylor?
Hi, good afternoon. So happy to be here again.
Thank you. We're happy to have you here again. How is everything going at Omega Medical Urgent Care Center? How is everything going there?
So everything is going well. And, as you said, Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, just to give them to refresh us to those who are new, who don't know about our company. So the thing about it is that we are not necessarily the new kid on the block. Omega Medical Services have been around since 1997, primarily in Migueldo, and that's where our hospital is and the clinic. However, growing up in Trelawney and knew how hard it is, for individuals in Trelawney and surrounding communities who have to go to Montego Bay for CT scan or X-ray. Then a different place to get blood tests, and a different place to get specialists and so forth, right? So, with all of this in mind, Omega Urgent Care Center was created by the directors. And the goal of this is to really put all of these facilities under one roof, as everyone would say, a one-stop shop, right? So under this one roof, we have CT scan, ultrasound, X-ray, blood test can be done. And additionally, if you need to see a specialist like the bone specialist, the surgeon, the heart specialist, gynecologist, physiotherapist, and so on, we have it here.
So people understand that Omega Medical Urgent Care Center is here at your service. And go again, where we are?
At Champion Plaza in Falmouth.
Right. There are so many things that people are struggling with, and some of them look very, very simple, but people, don't even know the importance. Some people just go by every day, then work hard, and especially in the hot sun, and out there, and don't realize that some simple thing can happen to them by not drinking enough water or taking enough fluid. If an individual is vomiting and they feel weak and need drip or rehydrate medication to stop the vomiting, do you have a service to help them?
Interestingly, yes, we do. We do have a doctor in-house, right? As a part of our services Monday to Saturday, and we are equipped with the medications such as IV fluid, what most people call drip. We have that.
Yeah.
We can do stitches and so forth. And so if an individual, let's say they don't want to go to the hospital, but they want to come in, they want the vomiting to stop, we have the medication for that. They want to because sometimes the weakness, is because you're losing volume in terms of your hydration status because you're not keeping anything though. And so we have the IV fluids can replace that. And so we are open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. as mentioned, Monday to Friday, and on Saturday 9 to 5.
Yes.
So you can come in. You can come in and you can get your medications and your IV fluid. If you get cut, you can come get your stitches. If you have any swelling like bile, people call them boils, you can come in and get those. If you have a cyst that is infected, you can get that drained. So we offer a wide service here. Assistance to you and as I talk about certain illnesses. When that individual has abdominal pain, in other words, I said belly pain, what do most persons commonly say is the cause?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And what is the solution to get that they would say as well?
One heap of people drink ginger tea and they have all sort of remedy for gas, then drink ginger, then drink hot water. Some just beer hot water. So, yes.
And while nothing is wrong with that, in terms of gas does exist, and the benefits of your tea. But the thing about it, we have a certain disorders in our digestive system. Yes. But it may not be gas. It may not be gas. It may appear to be gas. So how do you know which is it? So we here at Omega, we provide different scans, such as the X-rays, ultrasounds, and CTs and medicine on the belly to see what is really inside.
Yes. As we talk about gas pain, right? What are some of the things when people say, "Boy, them have gas"? What would cause some of that? When people hear people walk on and say, "Boy, them full of gas," and what?
Well, gas pain overall is they're not too wrong in the sense that air, when you chew and when you're chewing, you're actually swallowing air as well. It's something you can't avoid, right? When that air goes into the intestinal area, the air expands and it causes pressure until you get pain. But not every gas pain is really gas pain, or what is really causing the gas pain, because you have illnesses that can cause that. Let me give you an example of a case, right, where a patient thought it was gas pain, but it really, well, when I reach the end, you can tell if it was gas pain or not. So I had a patient that came in, right, to visit me, and she swear it's gas pain, So I started to ask her questions, sure that nothing else is going on, and to give a best service to the patient. Sometimes the individuals don't know anything, right? But the patient cussed me. She said, asking too much questions. You should know it's gas pain. She know what gas pain feel like. She just wants something to get rid of the gas. But the thing about it, at this point, when an individual is so disgruntled, we have to try to understand. We have to understand why she thinks the way she does. It's really important as a physician to see where the patient is coming from in order to understand why they think the way they think. Because when you just push a pill on an individual, it doesn't work. Because at the end of the day, if the person doesn't trust you, they're not going to take it.
Where was that patient feeling the pain?
Say that again? I didn't hear.
Where was the patient feeling that pain to determine that it's gas pain?
In the belly. So
okay.
Different from when people say the gas pain move to the chest. That's what we can talk about that another session.
No man, enough people say it all na them neck,
Yeah, that's part of that session. We can have another part, but just it's in the belly.
Yeah.
But if I talk to her to calm down, and it's so much that I could beg, I said, Miss, please, just do a scan. Even if it's an ultrasound. Right? I would really want it as CT, but even if it's an ultrasound, do the scan. Let's just make sure nothing else is going on. But I realized, 3 weeks after I didn't see her back, didn't hear back from her, she didn't return. But her relative came to the office and, asked for Dr. Taylor if she was in. So I was like, I'm here.
Yes.
And, she said to me, it turns out it was the person's aunt. So the relative that came in, the patient was her aunt.
Okay.
And she said, sadly, the patient died.
What?
2 weeks after she saw me from pancreatic cancer.
Whoa.
The patient didn't know she had pancreatic cancer. She apparently believed it was gas pain that she was feeling. So, and I must add, for those who are not sure what pancreatic is, but that pancreas is an organ that is in our belly, right? The relative said, and I quote, she said, "I came to thank you, Dr. Taylor, because if you didn't push my aunt to get the ultrasound, they wouldn't have found the tumor. And because it was found, she was able to do other tests, and we were able to get 2 weeks with her before she died. Otherwise, she would have died alone at home because it was stage 4 cancer, right? So it was, I could feel her pain and I could understand, but I could see where she was so grateful that a test was done. And there was no conclusion that it was just gas.
Yes.
So the long and short of it is, the lesson from this is that we talked about headache the last time, not every headache is migraine. So not every gas pain is gas. Or even if it is gas pain, something could be causing it that is more serious.
Yes. So people, if you feel pain in a certain part of your body, whether your neck, chest, back, cause people feel about gas pain all about that it in them hand. See, make a check, do some scan or some MRI, something to see. And Omega Medical Urgent Care Center is here in Falmouth. So don't just diagnose yourself and say you have gas pain and you just go forget some medication without allowing the doctor, to make the necessary check up and to find out what exactly, because that lady, maybe she could have be here now if she did allow the doctor to, apply the necessary thing that would help her. Can you give an example of a case of patient, who Omega Medical who provide the patient what going on in the belly?
So that actually was an example. That was an example that I can think of the back of my head, and I mean, there are others. You have those who would come in. You mentioned they have the gas in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
The pain reach up in the chest, and because of that, the belching and stuff. However, especially from this experience with this patient, thankfully that they can gas. But the thing about it, why he air between our chest muscle that is separate to the chest from the belly, right? However, when you have gas, sometimes you get bloating because it's that pressure that builds up. When it pushes against the diaphragm, the nerve that supplies that area, it also provides stimulation to the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So you can feel the pain push up on that area from the bloating. It's the extension of the tummy pushes up. And then when you push it against the diaphragm, you feel it in the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So some persons think the gas moves from the belly into the shoulder, but it's really how our nerve is supplied in our body.
Okay. Okay. What are some of the digestive disorder may cause gas? Tell us some of the digestive disorder.
Right. So we did mention that even if you have gas, even if your rifle is correct and it's gas, it could be caused by something. So in order to treat the gas, we have to treat that illness. And so you have chronic intestinal diseases. So these are diseases that they affect the intestines. A person who called tripe, right? You have diverticulitis, colitis, Crohn's disease, all of these big words. What they really cause, these illnesses, they cause excess gas to build up in the intestines, right? And it leads to pain. But sometimes one man says, but no man, something else will be going on and I have other things going on. Sometimes these symptoms are missed because they're so subtle.
Yes.
So it's best, here at Omega, we have the laboratory services, we have the radiological services that we can use to pick up these illnesses.
Yeah.
And even something as simple as constipation. Because if you're constipated and you have heartburn, you cannot pass gas easily, right? All the way past gas, called permitillatus, right? However, that gas just stay and it build up and it build up and it build up and then you start getting pain. But drink tea, you might have a little relief because that may encourage you to belch. You might reduce some of the pressure, but because the constipation is severe, the gas is just going to keep coming back. You have to fix the constipation, right? And you have other things, that mechanic, there are people who are exposed, not just mechanic, but people who are exposed to like battery, car battery that use lead and all of that. If you're frequently exposed to that and you get lead poisoning without knowing, it can start presenting with just the belly pain, kind of pain, and so you don't know that you have that poisoning, which is not something that is nice to deal with. Which is, you might confuse it and say, oh, it's just gas feed.
Some of the people always talk about the whole digestive disorder, right? just educate us on some, do's and don't, especially when you just eat some food and, old people and used to say, boy, when you finish eat, you must take some time and make your food settle. You ever hear them say, make your food settle in your stomach, and after just being on the go, them just hit and them just are eating same time they are working. You can't get any form of digestive disorder by doing these things, especially if your mind is not settled. Answer the question after the break. We'll come back,
the
right?
Doctor is your interactive call-in health feature brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, 28 to 29 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney, inside the Community Buzz, Mondays at 3:30 p.m. Call in on 876-513-6668 or 876-478-9144 and have your medical-related questions answered by the specialist, Dr. Live. That's Ask the Doctor, brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, your healthcare provider of choice on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Yes, we are here in this half an hour, and we are talking to Dr. Messonny Taylor, right, from Omega Medical Urgent Care Center. Dr. Taylor, you are still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yes, so I was asking the question, I asked the question just a while ago pertaining to some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to digestive disorder. What are some of the things that you mustn't do? Some people, are what are some of the things that you must do to avoid, digestive disorder?
All right. So for me, when you say that to me, my brain is gonna think of there's so many that is out there, and there's certain things that you cannot do to avoid it because it can be either due to genetics, it can be to abnormalities within the DNA, it can be due to your body attacking your own your immune system attacking your own body. So I won't touch on those, right? But since we're on the topic of gas, what I will do is mention the things that can be affected, as I said, by the lifestyle, right? So you want to remember mention one of the ways you get gas is a lot of air going to the tummy, right? And you can get the bloating and the distension. So you want to eat slowly. Don't eat and be talking and and all of that and chewing loud and chewing gum, all of that stuff. Yeah, air into the belly. Another thing is that you want to avoid certain foods. So stuff like carbonated drinks, like sodas. The fact that it's carbonated, it can actually cause a lot of buildup of gas. And that's why some people, when they say, boy, I have some gas, they drink some juice and then belch, or they drink some Pepsi and then belch. It's because of the carbonated, but it can actually cause you to have gas. Another thing you want to do, you have certain foods that will increase in you having gas. A lot of people like to drink apple cider vinegar to lose. That's something you want to decrease on, and even bready things. Those also increase gas. They always hear they say don't eat too much rice when you have gas. It's because of how rice is broken down. So,
is that true though? That you mustn't eat rice when you have gas?
Because of the fact that it can be, there's some truth to it, but it's not the case where, because you have gas, you can't eat rice. However, if it's a type of rice that allows you to be chewing a lot, you're talking while you're chewing, introducing air into the stomach. So that can actually make it worse through that particular mechanism.
So you are saying chewing your food properly is very important,
And slowly.
Yes, and slowly.
Because the cut and swallow thing is not going to work.
I say that is a problem with a whole heap of Jamaican people, to eat fast, cut and swallow. I don't even know if a lot of people really chew rice. To you see them just box it up in their mouth. If you understand what I mean. You see some people that eat sometime, and when they say, you're done already, no form of chewing. And it's not that them don't have teeth to chew, but It's just an habit, you know. So we are seeing these things happening to people, and them them diagnose themselves that they are suffering from gas pain and don't know that they are the one who are contributing to those illnesses that they have. When should an individual seek medical help when they have gas pain, though? When?
I'm happy I asked that. You know why? Because as I mentioned, gas pain is real. It's not a case that somebody make up something. Just like when you hear somebody say niggeritis, there's actually some medical explanation as to why you want to sleep after you eat certain food.
Mm-hmm.
But gas pain is real, right? But not every gas pain is gas pain, and so when you need to talk to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
if the gas pain is persistent, so if they're often, right? If this week, every week you notice you have a gas pain at least once a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so severe that you can't. It affects the daily activity. You're not able to function properly. Or the gas pain might come with other symptoms. You might notice you have the gas pain, but something else is going on. You notice you're losing weight. You notice that your stool look a bit darker than it's supposed to be. You notice that you get full easy. You
Mm-hmm.
notice that you're constantly feeling nauseous or vomiting. So in those cases where you have the gas pain and other symptoms, you definitely want to calm down. You want to go to your doctor, or you can come here. You definitely want to get your blood test or your scans in place so you can know exactly what is going on.
Oh, so when you're having gas pain and you start reach a stage of vomiting, you know, you see a difference in your stool. Tell me some of the thing where we can, you know, just into some of the thing that what might be happening here.
Pardon, can you repeat that for me, please?
You said just hint us. Maybe you don't want to tell us all of it, but just tell us some of the things that might be happening there when you start to see some difference in your stool, when you start to vomit, and you know that is gas pain, but these other things are happening.
So you wanted to give more details on what the stool would look like?
Not what the stool would look like, but what might be there, what might be developing.
Oh, okay. So, for example, like those who may have like inflammatory diseases of the colon or the small intestine, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are persons that they can get gas pain, but they might get blood in their stool, right? Or they may get there's another illness called inflammatory bowel syndrome, where 1 minute they have diarrhea, next minute they're constipated, along with nausea, bloating, decreased appetite, and so forth. Or you have those who they're, you know, the simple term about it, lactose intolerant. They eat certain meals. It gives them an increased amount of buildup of gas in the stomach. They go to the bathroom, they have diarrhea. So those are some different illnesses that can present like gas pain, but that is what is actually taking place. I hope I answer correct, because I struggled a bit to hear what you were asking.
Yeah. You talk about much minutes left? 4. You talk about the different food that people can eat, right? And contribute to gas pain. And we just want you to run that over again, that some people can understand, you know, because some people just eat randomly, you know, especially in Jamaica, where things so hard, you know, and sometimes people just on the move and just grab a bun and then just buy a soda and then don't even sit down or settle for heat it, you know. You observe, especially people who are in the transportation system, you know, them so busy moving, and you look and you see how them, maybe they don't even have that, but you see the bloatedness when you see some of these drivers, you know, when the transportation system, you know, taxi driver, bus driver, because them always on the move. Sometimes we take a bus, you will see a man a drive, and at the same time I drive him, I pick something and put it down. So,
okay,
yeah.
I understand now. All right. So first, I want to say any food that I mention is not to say if you eat it is a definite result in gas, right? I want to make that clear.
Yes.
Because everything in life we have to do it. We have to do it moderately. We can't just take too much or too little, right? And it also boils down to each individual on an individual basis how their body breaks down food.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the common things, for example, with vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, right, cauliflower, these are known to produce excess gas compared to other vegetables, right, like carrot. So, but it's not to say you're not supposed to eat the broccoli and cabbage, right? It's just that some persons it will give them gas. So they may notice that they may have to have a hot meal, like some soup or so before they have it. Other things would be like beer, and I mentioned, and beer is under the same explanation as the carbonated drinks like soda, Pepsi, you know, Cola.
Fun you talk about beer because I remember when I used to live at a particular place, you know, and there's a bar next door. And the man they used to come at the bar early morning and ask for hot beer for bust the gas. So I don't know how people get these things, you know, but you know, maybe it worked for them too, because they want a hot beer and that is in tea. You know, explain to us what pertaining to tea and breaking gas.
So there's a gray line, and I say a gray line because, like I mentioned, some carbonated stuff like beer, what it does, it helps to belch, right?
Yes.
So that will temporarily relieve the person from gas.
Yeah.
However, it can also cause it because it is fermented. That's why you get the bubbles in there.
Whoa.
And so these are the fermentation caused from the sugars and stuff. They can lead to bloating, and they can lead to the increased air in the tribe.
Yes.
And because of what it used to make some beer like barley and wheat, right? Those are some of the things. How it's broken down when it is fermented from bacteria and so forth. Those bacteria in our gut, they produce extra air and gas when they come in contact with some of the things some of the stuff that may be in beer. And so producing more gas, you get gas in.
Wow.
So it can help to relieve it, but it can also cause it.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Mesony Taylor, for educating us. You know, there's so much information that you have shared here. And I hope the people, you know, understand and stop just believe some things where you believe, you know, and just check out the doctor, you know. Just remind them, Dr. Mesony Taylor, you know, the people, the public out there, where you are, and that them can come in and do their necessary
Omega
check.
Medical Urgent Care Center is located in Falmouth, in Champion Plaza. When you come in, it's going to be to the left in the corner. You can't miss it. Look for the pictures on the windows. We provide a wide variety of services under one roof, or any form of scan you need to get done. We also do lab tests. We have specialist clinics. We do physiotherapy, and we have a doctor in-house. If you come and you just want to get an x-ray done, the doctor in-house can see and write it up for you to get your x-ray done.
Right. All right. We give thanks for having you here, and we're looking forward for the next time around, the next 2 weeks.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Mesony Taylor. That is Dr. Mesony Taylor from Omega Medical Urgent Care Center. And this half an hour was brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center.
Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, Champion Plaza, Falmouth, provides excellent healthcare services through a qualified staff to fulfill the medical needs of its community. Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, Falmouth, focuses on quickly getting you back to your true self. We use state-of-the-art technology to diagnose and treat patients, ultrasonography, CAT scan, digital x-rays, and laboratory services. Schedule your appointment today at Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, Champion Plaza, Falmouth. Opens Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 876-462-4571. That's 876-462-4571.
Ask the Doctor is your interactive call-in health feature brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, 28 to 29 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney, inside the Community Buzz, Mondays at 3:30 p.m. Call in on 876-513-6668 or 876-478-9144 and have medical-related questions answered by the specialist, Dr. Live. That's Ask the Doctor, brought to you by Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, your healthcare provider of choice on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Japs Promotion presents his 10th anniversary, the best of oldies music.
Happy anniversary.
Saturday, September 28th at Water Wheel, Martha Bray Trelawney. With music by Craig Rock, DJ Marvin, Stokey Love, Master Raj, and Screaming Target. Admission 1,000. Get tickets at Flavorville, Japs Auto, and Smokies Montego Bay. Food and refreshments on set. For Japs 10th anniversary, the best of oldies music. Saturday, September 28th at Water Wheel, Martha Bray Trelawney.
It's spring again. I can hear the...
Get ready for Savor Jamaica, a one-of-a-kind food festival. Thursday, September 26th from 3 p.m. to 8 a.m. at the Artisan Village in Falmouth during Tourism Awareness Week. Join us for a day filled with mouth-watering dishes from all across Jamaica. Taste the best flavors from Negril to Kingston and everywhere in between. Hosted by the hilarious Christopher Johnny Daly. It's Savor Jamaica. Come taste the culture. September 26th at the Artisan Village by the Falmouth Cruise Pier. You don't want to miss it. Brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and its public bodies.
Yes, this is a community buzz on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music, and I am Imara, the musical revolutionary. Yes, we just talked to Dr. Messonny Taylor from Omega Medical Urgent Care Center out there in Falmouth, right in Champion Plaza, shop 28 to 29. And, we were talking about gas pain and people, just wise up now, because sometimes the thing that we are talking about gas pain is something really develop inside of your system. So rather than just say you feel gas pain, make sure say a gas you feel, because I should talk about the person who died from pancreatic cancer, there are so many things that affect us, and she talk about something can be, coming from, your bloodline or your generation, and it just affect you, right down. So, your food where you eat, the thing that you drink, just your whole behavior pattern can create so much, what we call illness, because if your mind is sickle, some people just are heat, and I'll watch out some distressful news. Me don't understand how you do them thing there. And some people are heat and they don't look joyful. If you eat your food, you're supposed to have full joy of food. You can't eat and a quarrel, and you can't eat and vex, and you can't eat and tension, and you eat your food and you look on some things where, you can poison yourself by simply doing that, You know what I mean? You must eat your food in a joyful way. And that's why over the years, Mr. Man never used to go out and eat out, Because, you see some people that serve you and the way how them face makeup, say if you eat that the food there, you literally are poison yourself. You know what I mean? Because food must be prepared, right? With a certain level of joy and love. You know what I mean? You cannot prepare my food and you're around the vex. What you want, sir? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you all throw it down and next and, So, Mr. Man, me couldn't take to go out and eat and them things there, because when me go in my kitchen, every time I go in my kitchen, it's like a joy, I prepare myself. It's like I meditate before I go in there, because, is something I go prepare for putting in my structure. You know what I mean? And if you prepare something to put in your system, you want to make sure, so whatever you are preparing to put in your system is prepared with love. So some of the things that we'll go out every day and consume, and you'll say, boy, I'm happy on the move, because I need to make some money. But you make the money and then you end up with that money. You end up a carry to the doctor because what? Because you never eat right, you know, you wasn't thinking right, you know what I mean? So all sort of thing are going with you because what? You are depressed and stress out yourself to make some money, but making the money not really serve the purpose of the money. As we talk about make money, we want to look on some things in our book here. He's a writer named Robert Kiyosaki, right? He have a book where him called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, about this one, called Fake Money, Fake Teachers, and Fake Assets, right? And since the things that we see are going, you know, we start to tell people over a while, now, a good while, that you must pay attention to life, you know, even schooling, understand schooling and what it is for, and, you know, who really are at the head of the education system and why them set it up, you know. So let me just share something right here. Fuller and education. Bucky Fuller often spoke about education and inequality in education. He was fourth generation Milton Academy, a prep school, and fourth generation to attend Harvard University. He never finished Harvard though. He was controlled with, he never finished Harvard, though he was enrolled there twice, but did attend the U.S. Naval Academy, sister school to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. Entrepreneurs and education. Fuller noticed that many of America's great schools were started by entrepreneurs. Many robber barons like John D. Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Cornelius Vanderbilt, James Duke, and Leland Stanford I have heard that Fuller called Harvard, J.P. Morgan schools of accounting at the University of Chicago, John D. Rockefeller schools of economics, Duke University, and Vanderbilt University are named after great entrepreneurs. Now you have to look into that. Fuller concern was the mission or the purpose behind the entrepreneur philanthropy and interest in higher education. He said the entrepreneurs were looking to train employees to run their empires, not really to educate the best and the brightest. You understand that? Let me read that again. Fuller concern was the mission of the purpose behind the entrepreneur philanthropy and interest in higher education. He said that entrepreneurs were looking to train employees to run their empires, not to really educate the best and the brightest. While Fuller attended Harvard, he never graduated. He spent the money his family gave him for Harvard and partying and women. When he failed to show up for a test, Harvard had to ask him to leave twice for the same problem. So one of the things that we are looking at with our schooling and over the years, and you know, we talk about literacy and where the term financial literacy, and a lot of people who don't understand the concept of money and cash flow and all of these things. And this is one of the things where this brethren explain pertaining to education. And when people talk about scamming and extortion, you know, we see so many things happening around us as a people. And, you know, a lot of people believe that when you are out there trying to get yourself educated more and more, you realize that you're becoming more indebted to the system, because you are paying so much, especially those people who live when it comes to student loan and them thing, taking out a loan to educate themselves, and after being educated, them have to go look for job, and by the time they get the job, they have to pay back the student loan. And then they might think about getting a house and getting the house again, as a mortgage and all of these things. Now, when we look with Robert Kiyosaki, they might talk about, about the whole thing of making your money work for you. And if you study how these guys operate, when they must say they must make the money work for you, you, the one who claim that you are well trained, right? You are the well trained Harvard graduate, and you spend your money, on these things, then not saying, because I don't want people out there believe that we are against education. But I'm saying if the entrepreneurs out there recognize that they are training people to run their empires, you going to continue to be an employee, which is another version of a slave. Now, people don't want to accept that. But I could break it down in another way. Years ago, you have those who run the feudal system. The feudal system run by landlords who control lands and all of these things. So them have what? Serve or servant, right? Then you move to what you call slavery. See? And that is what you call slavery in a way where you don't get no wage. See, that is free labor, right? So, pre-labor slavery, you have slaves. Then you move to capitalism and you become what? We just want to think. You become an employee. An employee is somebody who you pay a wage, right? So the people who control business, pay you a wage to live, to survive. But all because you're going to, if you become an investor, or if you become somebody who is innovative with the little money where you get, you will continue for the rest of your life. 40 years. There were some people say, boy, and them wait for them pension. Just recently, I talked to a lady. And when I think with pension, because you wait for pension. But if you live 18 years or even 20 years after the pension and inflation and you it out, what happened to you? You understand? Because, and like I say, is the pension increase is your last what? Wage. And that you have to go survive. And that is your pension, So, however, the last wage calculate. So, say you did forget 80,000 a month or 20,000 a month. Let me put it at that. For the rest of your life, at the same 20,000 there I get. It now increase. While inflation I heat it out. Food price gone up, gas price gone up, that gone up, that gone up. Especially if a local pension you get. And like say it come from England where they value the money devalue but it's the same thing. Whether the money devalue, yes or no. So when you look on this system and you understand that some people really set it up, the whole banking system, and look how the people are function around here every day. You see people just can't get themselves, moving in the way how them supposed to be living, after becoming so, well educated, It is so sad. It is so sad. The power of education, real education should empower you to do anything you want to do. If you want to become a doctor, go to medical school. If you want to be a pilot, go to a flight school. If you want to learn to be rich, where do you go? That is the power of real education. If you want to become rich, where you go? The problem is that most people leave school disempowered. Many leave the education system, yet in school. went into something they cannot do, they say, I can't do that. Just like the limiting thought that trigger statement like, I can't afford that, or you can't afford that. Rather than seek real education, real teachers, they close their minds and their opinions, right? So you look on, we're going to go to disempowering education. You look on these things, you know, and you realize after all of the years, you claim, say, you want to be educated, but the one education you never get, yeah? But think about this thing, you know, if you want to learn to be rich. But what is riches? That is something we need to look on. What is riches? Because sometimes people just put down riches to how much money you have or how much asset you have, right? A man can decide, say, I want to be rich, but my riches is just a simple way of life. I have good health, you know what I mean? That is the first thing to me as a rich man, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people who have asset, but they're not well, mentally, spiritually, and physically, you know? We see how we could have named them. We see a whole heap of wealthy people, you know, in a Jamaica. When you look, them go so bam, cancer take them out. You know what I mean? They have so much things, but they are not here because something not really add up with all of this, what you call material wealth. So when we read what these brethren write, we do our own kind of calculation and try to understand what them really talk about with pertaining to riches. Is education obsolete? This is a film thing. The second part of this book, 2-part, fake teachers, is that most important part of the book, because there is nothing more important in education. This is what I'm going to say. Let me go right here. So, if our educational system offer and deliver real financial education and real spiritual education, our leaders would not get away with printing fake money or selling fake assets. Understand that. More that for sinking on the people head. If our educational system offered and delivered real financial education and real spiritual education, our leaders would not get away with printing fake money and selling fake assets. And that is one of the things that you hear some people say, boy, me I try, but it not work out. Because of them really do, right? Is having what you call fake assets, you know? And we'll come forward to that. Make we take a break and come forward.
No food no left in the basket. No change in the left to go to market. And when me call me pay all me plan with me girl me have to forfeit. Big anniversary, I make you buy me princess a chocolate. Boy in this world I chat, you me know. Me say 9 to 5 I wonder how some do it, how some money Jamaicans make. So when me collect me pay now and me work now for the week, cause me don't pay me bills, me no see it. 9 to 5 it rough out the street, me the work until me beat and can't sweet. When me collect me pay now and me work now for the because me don't pay me bills, me no say. Nobody feels a bit like this time when I this you. If you ask me for $1, I me tell you so me can't. And sometimes the money in my pocket and me can't buy a Jones if no one. On the outside say things look bright and you wouldn't know how things tight and life no easy, life no easy. 9 to 5 wonder how some do it. How some money Jamaicans make. Now when me collect me pay now when me work now for the week, cause me don't pay me bills, me no sit 9 to 5 rough out the street, now me the work until me beat I can't sweet. When me collect me pay now when me work now for the week, and as me don't pay me bills, so me no sit. And 7 days of the week, me just up and go out and go up and Get me a Friday evening and by Saturday evening me broke. Send me the work and me can't save a cent. Everything gone back in a restaurant. You need some better employment. You can't get no enjoyment in a 9 to 5 work. Me wonder how some do it, how some manage Jamaicans mate. They when me collect me pay now, but me work now for the week. As me don't pay me bills, me not say it 9 to 5 work. Rough out the street and me the work until me bitter can't sweat. And when me collect me pay now, but me work now for the week. And as me don't pay me bills, me not say it. And no food no left in the basket. No change a left figure of market.
Yes. You see the man attack. That is what we are talking about, you know. You know what I mean? Higher sight. May your soul rest in peace, my brethren. Why? Sometimes when you see them artists, they rise up and express something and then all of a sudden then just drop out. You know what I mean? But we give thanks for the message. Your message and your music live on with I and I as a people. You know, because this is a strong message, you know, and that's why, you know, we're looking at the system and how the world around. And the reason why I'm even drafting this is we see what going on, you know, pertaining to, you know, the scammers, you know, the whole thing where everybody just want to get rich. And, you know, some people genuinely believe that, you know, going to school and get yourself educated and work hard, you know, you are going to become rich. And we don't even realize that some of the education, you know, as we read earlier, is that not education for elevate you to a level. So we could look on disempowering education. The risk. Oh, this man. Yeah. Let me just lock up this because, and it is not even like, disempowering education. And the reason people challenge me saying you can't do that is because our education system is designed to keep people powerless. As stated earlier, most of our greatest universities are started by and funded by robber barons. If you don't understand what that means, some criminals, but then become the most powerful set of people in the world. Men like John D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt, Leland Sanford, and Cecil Rhodes. If you know who Cecil Rhodes is, you know, there here some people walk around the Rhodes Scholars, that is the Rhodes Scholar, Yeah, Cecil Rhodes is one of the men who was a butcher who murdered millions of people in Rhodesia. You know, the same place what them call Zimbabwe, right? And him decide say after him do that, him I go set up a fund, a scholarship, and then you realize that a lot of our scholars, we can't name enough of them. Even our recent finance minister is a Rhodes Scholar, right? So observe what is happening, and just don't see none of these people make any serious impact, you know, on the changing of the life of the people. Rather, they maybe start to study the people who them get the scholarship from, you know, and that is the way of life that they lived, how to extort their own brothers and sisters. So we are looking at disempowering education, you know. Their interest in education was fueled by their need to find the best and the brightest student, educate them and train them to work for them, employees who would do their bidding, but entrepreneurs are innovators who compete against them. So the twist and the turn of this world, you know, and that's why we are read this because we want people to open up their mind. You know, we are in the political season right now. And being in the political season, we're saying to people, what are the choices you are going to make right now in a Jamaica, you know, as we are looking at things right now. You know, we have the two main political parties, you know, the opposition and the party in power. It's the GLP and the PNP. And we see at the head of the PMP right now is banker. You know, you can take away that. The head of the PMP right now is a banker. And if you understand the banking system, if you understand how the structure of these things set up, and then some of the things then when you see the people them are go through right now, and some of the things that people are fearful of now, especially what you call the digital currency, and to make Jamaica move into the digital age, right? Now, we see where the bank, you know, lobby government over the years to really have power over the people money. And if you don't believe a lie, just look around. There was a time when you would work at a particular place, Julia, and you could have go to the people and you say, all right, then pay your check on a weekend or on a fortnight or monthly. You collect your check directly. You know? Well, you know, banks lobby the government that the money must pass through their system. So everybody have to have a bank account. You understand? And then, you know, you used to have to go stand up in the line. But as I show you how the thing a move, because everything happen in phases, you know, and phase. You go stand up in the line, you know, in the bank for hours. Your employer, you know, could have just simple go call the check, write your check there, or maybe some people used to all get what you call cash them. See? So when rings carry the money come or your check out. I remember when we used to work at a certain institution or a certain place. And you collect your money right there, you know. You get your statement and see how much tax you pay and such like. And you go in your yard with the money, right? Then the check part was a part of it where you have to rush because stand up in the long line at the bank for change it. Then them tell us them are going to make it a little easier and a little better for you. See, so now you need to have a backyard and you need to guard the machine. Now, sometimes people have a plan when they go guard the machine. Because sometimes you pass at these places and when you look, the machine gone, the line long gone around. So, and then there are some people who are not well educated on how to use this machine. So them go into these machines and then maybe I spend nearly 20 minutes in there. One person, right? And then we reach a stage, you know, where we hear say some of the machine them now work. You understand? And people turn up now to collect them little money from the machine and
or the machine is missing.
Or sometimes yes, the machine are missing, you know. Up Duncan's machine missing. Yes. Move out away. Move out. So to say this, you know, we just point out this whole thing of money, the people who really control money, as out here, so the people who spend time to create a fake asset, you know what I mean, and print fake money and you know and sell your fake asset. And some of the things where you don't even know say a fake asset, like some of the people them buy a house in a certain place. And the way them set it up, them know say, you know, in the next 5 years, the house they feed them and not even your own. Because, you know, the salary that you have been paid and them are going to make sure say interest rate go up, bam. And when interest rate go up, you realize say, you know, you just lose your house. And you did look on that as a asset. If you explain it, but this is how these people created fake asset, and it's people who run the world. So want people to start to think. I mean, just say to people, you know what I mean, invest in some book, man, and read and understand the economic system, understand the banking system, because you see, if you're not financially liberated, you know what I mean, you are still a slave. You know, if you don't know how to control your own system. And that's why we always say we need to develop community. And the community what we need for that. And that's why we even talk about Kwanzaa and them things. There's some of the principles in Kwanzaa. Or we develop your own community, or you develop your own currency. Because as we speak today, the people who are running the world And some people who come up with them idea, they decide say them a go farm a system, and them a go make sure say this system and over nearly 200 years that these are same set of people who control the wealth of the world because of how them structure certain things and them shift money from this. And when you say even the banks, so we believe say we own at Jamaica, foreigners own it. You know what I mean? It's one set of people who control it. You understand? And then what end up going to happen to the people? We see all sort of land just building a go upon them, and you say his investment, and we hear this amount go come, that the amount go come, and we take a stack of coming out. It's pure what? Poison food, because they are taking away the lands from the people. Want people to pay attention, what you really call development, and look all around you, right? You don't even have no land because them set up the place, them the little house them and send you. Nowadays, you can't even find enough of the land are barren land too. So you can't even plant anything on it where will come out or anything. One time gone. And that's why we still have to talk about the Michael Manley government. Because me live in a community, and when you look on them housing there, that struck place, or the scheme set up. You can put up a nice house, and you have a nice piece of land at the back where you can plant a little food. This was a man who was thinking that you become independent if you can plant some callaloo, if you can plant some pop chow, if you can plant a breadfruit tree, or you plant 2 banana tree. You don't have to run to the supermarket every minute. But the way you see them construct housing development now, right? Them put each and every one of us on top of, gone, especially those high-rising, townhouses, according to them, or, within certain communities. I'm not land for farming because they're stuck up, right? And then we'll do some fast food place come nearby the community, and then not just fast food neither, Pay attention, Julia. You see what come with the fast food too? Look next to it, you're going to see a pharmacy, because they know say. and then down more. And then down more, you're going to say somebody put up a funeral home. It is serious. It's a death industry. You understand? Because they know say after you eat their food, you bound to get sick. And then the pharmacy did there, ready for sell your drugs, right? And then the funeral down there showcase, I make sure tell you say, all right, come and get your package. And maybe some people start to order them package before, maybe people order them package, in advance. Because we know people who build them own grave, and sit down where you tell them that. We know people who do that, come back and they retire and them say, all right, so me I go bury. So them go and then dig them grave and them so Paul can say, when me dead, me no want in trouble. Put me right, yes, sir. So these are some things that we have to pay attention to. What kind of world we live in Jamaica right now. Some of the things that we see as development, really development, is just trap. Them are set, So we look on invisible poverty. What you call invisible? School teach people to be poor with a term known as invisible poverty. School reinforce invisible poverty by, punishing students for making mistakes. Teaching that mistakes make you stupid. Memorizing answer rather than learning by making mistakes. Decreeing that there is only one right answer that the teacher have. Delineating right versus wrong rather than the concept of 3 sides to every coin, lacking real financial education, viewing corporation as cheating. But I want to pay attention to this. Viewing corporation as cheating. But you know, say, is the people who control the system educate you for think that we are there. Because if the people empower themselves and start to cooperate, this is what we talk about communal living. And then same people that will sit down and craft these things are the same set of people who fight against socialism, you know. And I tell us that capitalism is the best system. And these same set of people who sit down and tell us that them will make the money work for you. Because then still, so you still have to read in between the lines to understand what they are saying. See? Because them set laws and system and put laws and structure in place. It's just like how them trick the people them recently about decriminalization of marijuana. You ever look into it? Decriminalization of marijuana, and when you look on the 2015 Decriminalization Act, right? Most of the man them lock out because them say yes. Yeah, man, you can have a 2 ounce by you. But at the same time, yeah, the police can ticket you if him have a mind, if him feel like for the 2 ounces you have by you. And if you have more than 2 ounces, right, you can be charged. And you can get a ticket. And if you don't pay the ticket, what? You understand? So, may I use that example that people can understand that a man can say and give you the freedom to do something, but you are still trapped within the freedom. So decriminalization, the only way you can really become an entrepreneur, you have to become what? Get a license. Yeah? But enough man don't even want to go that way there for farm a corporation because you have been trained to compete against you one another over the years. While the people we around the world know say competing against each other in our work. So make we build corporation, you know, and control everything. And this is what the bankers are doing today. And this is what the politicians they are doing today. And the people in the round here and believe say, boy, yeah, make we fight each other. And this is my party and that is my party. See? They are learning from them one another, man, how to hide money. You hear them talk about the whole thing of look on the two terms. Tax evasion and tax avoidance. Just look on them two terms there. Yeah?
Yes.
The big guys, them know how to avoid tax, and that is not a criminal act. But they can charge you for evade tax. Right? So most of them who avoid tax, them do it through corporations, you know, and company. So it is not me who own the taxes or who owe the taxes, but the company. And the company can file for what? Bankruptcy. See it? And you still run off with your money. Where did the company make and you not pay nothing? So these are some of the things. And one of the reasons why we dig up and I look into these things is when you get certain glimpses the integrity commission report Prime Minister, she say, well, I'm serious scared and you have to study it. And as I said, maybe at the end of all of this, him can just move out of this easy and there is no criminal charge because in the world thing of him not do nothing illegal or unlawful. See? But what is happening? Viewing corporation as cheating, taking tests on your own, making it unacceptable to ask for help, never saying, I don't know. So these are the other things where people don't really want to come out and say, boy, you know, so I don't know that's something up now. Not helping others. Grading on the bell curve where there are smart people and stupid people. So we have to understand schooling, you know, get deep into schooling and see what schooling is about. You understand? And that's why the man who decide to educate himself and know what him or she is about, you know, these are the people who chart certain course in life. And that's why we still have to go back to our great national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, because these are the things that he was teaching us, you know what I mean, to become a nation of people who believe in ourselves, who set the foundation there and create that interdependency. You know what I mean? We use the word independence so much that we don't understand the power of interdependency, where we value each other, know the worth of each other, and know that each and every one of us, you know, are like asset to each and every one of us. Because you see, when them talk about fake asset, what is the greatest asset? If you're going to talk about asset, who is the greatest asset? You of yourself, because everything that you are going to create come from your inner thoughts, your own creativity. You know what I mean? But when you allow other people to see you as human capital, because even the term that would them use by all the while, you know, I remember one time I sit on a board and them tell me, say, I am the biggest threat to the board. Because I was always advocating and agitating for certain levels of transparency. And I was always, you know, speaking on equity, that everybody supposed to contribute to this, you know, however small it is. You must get back something because you are making a contribution. But the greedy one then believes, say, you know, me want take women or put in, or people want get things and then don't put in. And those people who are saying that are the people who are taking the little from everybody rather than giving them some of the little. You understand? They might take it, you know, and they might have it for themselves, and they would have called themselves that because they become this conglomerate, because they have everything. So pay attention to these things, you know what I mean? Because people will try to ridicule you, even when you stand up for the right. Just like what they do to Marcus Garvey, you know, because, and hear them ridicule a lot of us. They ridicule a lot of us because they know, say, the vast majority of the people, what you are talking about, fly over them head. Them so, you know what I mean, don't want to search for themselves. So whenever you are trying to even educate them, they would have rather take the side of the man who I use them, you know, and we see it in so many forums we go. You know what I mean? Seminars and all of these places where we got in thing that we see people don't want to even ask questions. You know what I mean? They don't understand something, but then just sit down and them absorb. Why them behave the way them behave? Schooling, because the education system, you know, see your brain, right, as a receptacle where you just dump things in it. And you don't realize, say, no, my brain is not a receptacle where you just feel like dumb things. Me have my brain to think and to say, watch ya, this now go work for me. And this is what I need to do for myself. And this is what we can do to become more powerful. You know? And we look upon these things, and when we study some of them something, we look upon even South Africa. What do you sit down and me and say, how the whole of Africa allow a few people from the outside world come have a apartheid in a country, in a continent, we are going to tell people how much land them can own. If people don't see that as power, that is power, and that's why the people who control the world economy look pan way as a set of people when really are going nowhere. Seeing? Because if you have so many millions of people and a handful of people can control the resources, including you as the human resources, control you in such a way that you don't have the courage to stand up and say, no, this is my land, you come here, so come see me. And you can't survive. Yeah, so if me can't survive in it. And we are said to my country, Jamaica, wise up. Wise up. Yeah? Now we have more dialogue now and conversation with those who coming around and making promise. Yeah? What you're promising us, where you're getting it from, how you're going to implement it. You know? I want to be a part of the process, right? And I want balance in the process, not you dictating to me and how this thing will go on. You see me I say? And this is one of the things that we are looking at pertaining to even the Integrity Commission. I want some people to listen to Zara Burton version of this whole thing. Because 360, what? No, 380 something another degree.
Okay.
All right. Listen to her version of it. Yeah. And you will realize that we inherited some things from our colonial masters. And we are perpetuating them on ourselves and our people. And our people are so miseducated that anytime you speak of equity and balance and justice and truth, you know, people believe that you are against an individual. I'm never ever against an individual, especially if the individual, you know, come from a particular background. I am just looking at the action of the individual who sit in a particular seat and supposed to function. If you are deceiving the people, what I don't like a deceiver, because a deceiver, yeah, is a liar than a thief. One who seek to deceive you, you know, you're a lie. You lie to the people and you're taking away from the people, right? If you're truthful, you know what I mean, then the people will have more confidence in you. You know, people will see you as somebody that them can trust. But if you look very deceptive and your actions seem to be deceptive, we will say people of it think and question your actions. And this is what we are talking about. See? Do the research and read, study the system of the world. You know? We see where the Prime Minister said the 2030 vision not going to be achieved. You know? And I have been saying that right here so on the program. So I am not a prophet. No, I not claim to be a prophet. But me there so I talk it because me observe that this 2030 vision, yeah, no have nothing to do with we. Let me use it in a patois. It no have nothing to do with we in a Jamaica. The 2030 vision, right, is a deception to keep more of us in the position that they want us to be in. You know what I mean? Is a way to expand them slavery system, you know? And that's why they call it the fourth industrial revolution. What is the fourth industrial revolution? You know? Understand it. Who are in control of it? who are the architect of the fourth industrial revolution. So we are saying, be wise, my people. Organize yourself. You know what I mean? This is what we call a silly season, election season, you know? And everybody plans, say them are going to vote out one person and put in another person, or they are going to make who is in power or those who are in power to remain. Right? So pay attention. You know, we here on the community buzz, one of the things where we just want to provoke that, and we just want to have people to think and to look, because that is where we're at. That is where we're at as a people right now. We are in serious crisis, you know, in this island called Jamaica. You know, many people can't afford health care. You know, we went to the Rotary Club, the forum last week Tuesday, right? And then, you know, it was about prostate cancer, and just the two weeks before we interviewed two people. And one of my findings, this is when I pick up, how expensive it is for even just do some check-in by yourself. You understand? And most people will maybe suffer, and they might tell you the statistic and how much people may, especially black men, they're not dead, we are going dead off. And then the next thing we hear about this low birth rate in Jamaica. So you know, say I wipe them, I wipe we out.
The maternity wards are empty.
So understand what is happening.
Family planning board shut down.
Yeah? But una ever hear about a woman named Margaret Sanger? Huh? Go and study and research her. So them agenda is working. Two is better than too many.
From the late 60s into the 70s.
From the late 60s into the 70s. They call it Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, right? Them developed this thing, right? Depo-Provera. You remember them something there? Yeah? A whole heap of people them, our young woman them, start remove them womb. Yeah? See? And you hear about cervical cancer. And if you check many, come and talk to a lot of people who did under them kind of birth control there. Especially the one with the injection. You didn't know about that one, Julie? Eh? Family planning injection. 3 months. When you get that injection, it lock you down for 3 months. And I will always say, where that I go? Because this is a cycle we're supposed to happen. Then cut off a natural cycle under the guise of birth control. And we see 40 years after. I want to know them people that fight back, you know. What? About 50 odd years after. Where we see I'm in Jamaica. Eh? Eh? So if the ward, the maternity ward, them empty, and you hear everybody talk about this low birth rate, and then we see one next day we're going to talk about it.
Saying what 40 years later they want us to start have babies now.
But who are going to have the baby when time and doesn't poison off the woman, the young woman them, and then push it in your head, say carrier before baby. And then them have people like Miss Kitty promote all of that because that is what she do. And cuss man and this and that. Now she can't have a little one child and she come out and go on like she's the best mother. See? And you understand? So those of the people, you see, and that's how we say, people beat up on the maroon culture and the maroon community. But we have some reasoning for do, my people. We have some reasoning to do, because you see the people who are the standard bearer and the bedrock of this country, are the people them where people look upon or look down upon with scorn. You know what I mean? Because enough of them youth here who become something and find themselves in certain powerful position, them will tell you, say, Zane, all 10 of them grew up in a one room. But them learn how to unite and them develop a thing, and 5 or 6 of them come out to something good and then form a family unit, and some of them are run family business and this and that. Couple of my brethren when me talk to, them show you, although, you know, some are a little bit educated than some beliefs that they need to have certain control over others. But the truth is, we have to observe what is happening to us and who is doing it to us. Listen to yourself rather than listening to the people who are taking instruction from outside and I push it upon you. Use your head, think, buy books, research, right? Read, see, understand. The same guide them, because when they make them, sometimes, you know, you want to buy them book and sometimes you don't want to buy it, you know, because you realize that in them book, them create certain tricks by you and you have to read through the line. Because I see when we read a Virginia book about Rich Dad and Poor Dad, this man who write this book, you know, is a Vietnam War vet, you know. Him and Donald Trump are brethren, you know. So right now he's a defender of Trump, you know. And read where him and say it open up your eyes to how the money system of the world run. Fake money, fake teacher, fake asset. How lies are making the poor and middle class poorer. Robert Kiyosaki, see, bestseller author, but understand who he is and understand where they might come from. We come for educate, we come for teach. Yeah? And that's what we are about in a community, boss, because an uneducated nation is a weak nation. But what kind of education? Yeah? You have to get the education to empower yourself. And this is where we are saying, how are we going to empower ourselves to break down the barriers them that people don't continue to use us? So we say rise and stand tall. That's why we write them song there, you know. Rise, stand tall. You know what I mean? And we can't give in. This is the community buzz, and this has been the community buzz. We say it in their English language. And somebody says something to her, you know, I may have to laugh. Him say, for the main fact, like we're speaking how we are speaking now, it means that our oppressors won the battle. You know what I mean?
Somebody told me that too.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I was from England. Mr. I beg your pardon? I say, if an English person would never say, Julia, you sound like an English person. Because I don't. The Americans say, oh, you sound British, or you sound, you know, or, you know, no, I just say, no, I had English teachers.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing to it.
Yeah. So to empower ourselves, we have to define with our language. That's why sometimes I like to chat some patois that people can understand what we depend, you know, because that is where them no want. Remember, the first thing we then do, then try to eliminate with God and with language out of way. And that's why them achieve what them achieve, because we have to talk like them, but we not live like them. Just think about that. Love and light. We give thanks to Primal4k.com, Primal Media. We give thanks to those who listen, and we give thanks to Omega Medical Urgent Care Center, right? And look out, next strong. A politician did plan for company program, but I don't know if he can get cold feeted because you know, so it go. All right.